September 10th, 1976, Calusa, California. It's 11:30 p.m. and this gentleman is watching TV, and all of a sudden, the TV conks out completely. The air conditioning conks out completely. So he goes back to the back end of the house. He opens up the circuit breaker box, to see if there's anything wrong with the circuit breaker. Everything seemed to be okay there. As he's walking back into his house, he notices that, oh my goodness, the hair on this guy's head, it starts to stand up straight. The hair on his arms is standing up. The hair on his chest is standing up. Not only that, it's crackling, okay? So here he is. And when he looks up, he sees this 140-foot diameter dish-shaped craft that has a very interesting dome on top. Now, you've seen those lemon squeezers where it has those ridges on it. That's what the dome looked like on this craft. So it looked like a lemon juice squeezer or a lemon squeezer. Now, on the bottom of this thing, it had 6 of these conduit pipes that tapered down to frayed edges. And it also had these prongs that were sticking down. And while all this is going on, because this whole localized area had kind of a static electrical field, he looked off to the left and he could see 2 more of these craft that were identical to the large one, but were half the size. And they were pulling power off the 500,000 volt power lines, causing them to become cherry red. So the fact that the power lines were affected and the hair on his body was affected makes it a CE2 case. It's a close encounter of the second kind. At this point, these conduit pipes retract into the bottom of the craft. You can see it better here. And these claw-like devices, they also retract. At that point, these gooseneck lights pop out on either side. At this point, he's getting really scared, okay? So he goes into his house and he wakes up his wife and his 2 kids. They go to the back room, and here they are right now. They open up the window, they pull back the blinds, and they see that large craft in the backyard, flanked on either side with the 2 smaller craft, and they're pulling power off the 500,000 volt power lines, causing them to become cherry red. Now, this is all going, keep in mind, this is all going on in 1976. All right, now, next thing that happened is the large craft in the center, it goes from a dead standstill to just hovering over these low hills in the background that are 24 miles away. It does it in less than 1 second and then comes back in less than 1 second. So it had traversed 50 miles total in less than 2 seconds. Who had the technology to do that back in 1976? And there was no sonic boom whatsoever. I've got a drawing of what this craft looked like here.
So no sonic boom has to almost imply that it was anti-gravity, right? Because it's not going through the air, right?
It wasn't using conventional aerodynamics that we know of. This is what the craft looked like here. You can see these conduit pipes sticking down. All right, so at this point, the husband is saying to himself, you know what, I gotta protect my family here. We need to get out of here immediately. So he packs up his kids. They're still in their pajamas. They're still sleepy. He grabs his wife, piles everybody into the pickup truck. They start going 90 miles an hour down the road. This is what it says in the report. I've got the 5-page report. They're going 90 miles an hour down the road. This large craft that was in the background starts chasing them in their pickup truck. Goes over to the left-hand side of the pickup truck, over the cab, over to the right-hand side, then back up over to the left-hand side. They go about a mile down the road at 90 miles an hour. They get to the neighbor's house. They screech on the brakes. They all pile out of the truck. They start slamming on the door of the neighbor's house. 2 neighbors pull out, get out of the house, and they see the very tail end, all 6 eyewitnesses. So you've got the father, you've got the wife, you've got the 2 kids, plus the 2 additional witnesses. That's a grand total of 6. They see the large craft departing at kind of a 60-degree angle of attack. And so this is all back in 1976. And they were so fearful, they thought they were fearing for their lives. They were just in such panic. So again, someone's building this in 76 that had the technology to go supersonic without any kind of sonic boom back in 76.
na 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 na.